Hey.
Yeah.
Hey. So I need to ask you something. I need to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty important. How many birds is too many birds? Okay. I want you to think about that. Do you think there's too many birds right now?
I mean, I don't have a problem with birds.
Do you think there should be less birds?
I mean, are they doing something that would make me think we should have less birds in this world?
I don't know. I just feel like there's too many birds. Okay. I feel like we need less birds all of a sudden.
Okay.
Right?
Are you afraid that they're spying on you or something? That Amazon put up camera birds.
Everyone already knows that birds are just a government ploy. All right. But I'm just thinking, in general. Let's pretend they weren't a government ploy, okay? Let's pretend Let's pretend like we're stupid idiots and think that birds are real, okay? Right? Like I'm a little Timmy and my mom's a Jammy and Papa and Papa Dave are like, oh boy, let's go look at some real birds and all that stuff, right? Right? Because birds are real, right? But everyone knows birds aren't real to begin with. Okay, but I'm just saying, William, do you think we have too many birds? Should we start getting rid of birds?
I mean, yeah, sure, we can get rid of the birds. Hold on. I'm gonna have to bring this with me.
No,
I'm just bringing the recording device with me because like off topic, it's just like people are messing with my window, knocking on it.
Oh, is it the vampires? Is it the vampires that were knocking at the windows?
No, Austin, what you don't realize is that you brought the birds to my house, Austin. The birds are here, Austin.
Wait, hold on. According to Google, there are 400 billion birds in the world.
Austin,
all right?
I think I have at least half of that at my windows right now.
One is about to get assaulted by vampire birds.
Why are they vampire birds?
We still live in a vampire apocalypse.
Aren't we? Isn't that winding down now? That's what.
No. There's still a vampire apocalypse. It never left. It never left. All right. We haven't achieved vampire herd immunity yet.
Okay. Jeez.
Hold on. Or by the time this does come out, we might have defeated the vampires because I still don't know when this stuff is being uploaded.
That's
all
true.
right. Right now, the upload schedule is weird. This may or may not come out. Hey, well, I'll let you know this for sure. This is gonna come out after Godzilla vs. Kong, alright? And Godzilla vs. Kong isn't out by the time of this recording, okay? That's how far along of the backlog this video is gonna be.
Yeah, it is. It is really far back.
Yeah, but don't worry. But don't worry. By then, we will kill all the birds. All right.
Oh my god.
We will go to the bird war. Will happen. Wait, what side would you stand on?
Well, not with the birds. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, are you sure you don't want to stand with the birds?
I'm not going to stand with the birds. No.
Okay.
Oh my.
Yeah, but there's no lead. There's no lead. I just want to rant about birds. I just think there's too many birds. Okay.
Dude, what the? Okay, so I just wanted to look it up on the release date, but a lot of other countries are getting Godzilla vs. Kong before us.
Yeah. Hey, it turns out if at the start of a pandemic you have a leader who takes the pandemic serious and not tell people to drink bleach, you could probably get your vaccination out early. Okay.
Oh my god.
And right? I just saw a picture of New Zealand where people are just in New Zealand. Right, besides from being in New Zealand, all right. Besides of them living in New Zealand, they're actually out and about. All right. William, here's a fun fact. They could have filmed a new Hobbit trilogy within that time. That's what the world. This is what we need the most right now in the world: a new Hobbit trilogy, a prequel trilogy to the Hobbit. All right.
I mean, well, okay, so that's a Silmarillion, but that's a whole different ballgame there. So.
Oh wait, is there actually a prequel to the Hobbit?
There is a technical prequel to the Hobbit. It's basically just like Tolkien was like, I'm gonna write a history book, before.
Is Aslan in there?
Aslan's not in there, okay?
Oh.
He has no involvement within the Witch in the Wardrobe series, okay?
Oh, wait. What do you mean? Aren't they all Isn't there all interconnected?
They're not all interconnected, okay?
Oh, well.
God.
Hey, but you know what is interconnected?
What?
The story of Cherry.
Oh, my God.
Okay, but before we start this movie, I need to say something, alright?
Yeah.
We need to stop watching movies with Tom Holland in it. I keep getting tricked.
What
Okay?
do you mean? You think he's gonna come in swinging in like Spider-Man?
No. So since this movie is still gonna be on the backlog for a while, right? And we recorded the Devils all the time. That still isn't out yet, by the way.
Right.
So here's my problem with movies and Tom Holland. I keep watching them with a whole different perspective than what the movie is about. Okay. So in the devil all the time, which we talk, I thought it was about the literal devil all the time. All right, across different ages.
Wait,
all right.
Are you telling me you thought this was about actual cherries or something?
No. Okay, maybe. All right. I thought this was a action thriller film because it had the Russo brothers attached to it. And after Extraction and Endgame and all that stuff, I thought this was just gonna be like an action flick movie where Tom Holland plays like some secret agent. Some secret agent named Cherry, okay? That's what I legitimately thought this movie was going. I literally thought this was like a spy action flick or some shit, right? Where he goes around kills people, right? Like an action star, right? Who goes by the code name Cherry or some shit, okay? That is what I legitimately thought this movie was before I realized 30 minutes into this movie, this is not a spy action movie. This is a real movie.
Oh, this is a real movie? Okay, sure. I mean...
Like, I legitimately was expecting an action movie within this movie.
Okay. I mean, I can kind of see what you mean by that because the way it shows and stuff, it does give off that vibe. It doesn't give off the vibe
I legitimately
of what it
thought
actually is.
I thought it was like some type of thriller movie, right? Like some action thriller movie. Like, oh boy, like how like with the way that the movie sets itself up, right? With the first scene of the banquet, I thought I was like, ooh, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here, right?
No, yeah.
Like, yeah. But then at the time, this is a real movie with a real story that was going on.
I mean, it does do that thing where like, oh yeah, so you're wondering how I got here. It does do that at the beginning, so
yeah.
To be fair.
Also, doesn't help this movie is split into phases for some fucking reason. All right.
Yeah. I mean, it might have to.
Wait. This movie in 2 hours did more than what the MCU that it took the MCU 20 years to accomplish. Keep that in mind.
Okay. All right then. So before we get off on any further tangents, so let me drink this real quick.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna read to us the plot synopsis as usual that was provided to us by the Wikipedia.
I'm gonna drink some of my gamer fuel, the Mountain Dew.
Oh my God! Stop. Wait, that's not gamer fuel though.
Oh, what? What is Mountain Dew not the fuel of gamers?
No, you have actual gamer fuel now. It's called G Fuel, Austin.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, you're behind on the times. They actually have gamer fuel now, Austin. You have been left behind in the dust, just like all of us have in the apocalypse of the vampires.
Oh damn! If only we were vampires.
If only we were vampires. Jesus. But then, Austin, what happens to Cannibal Gary? Come on.
Oh hey, look! Don't worry, Cannibal Gary. Look! Here's that's the thing about Cannibal. He knows how to survive. All right. He knows what's up. It's almost as if he's been running his entire life and hiding, right, and changing. But he knows how to do a quick change up. All right. Right? Like, because as you know, when we met, he didn't tell us about his past or his background story. We just saw him arrive in town one day, and we're like, hey, yo, what's up? What's your name? He was like, oh, my name's Cannibal Gary. And we're like, all right, cool. Let's hang out. Right?
Oh, my God. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I love this back that we're building about Cannibal.
Jesus. He's realer than either of us, Austin. He's realer than either of us.
Maybe the real Cannibal Gary was the friend we made along the way.
No, it's the friends that we cannibalized along the way. Come on now. Anyway, so I'm gonna start right now.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. You literally said we were gonna get off tangent too. That was the worst part about this.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so I'm gonna start right now. Cherry falls in love at first sight with his college classmate Emily. Their relationship blossoms, but Emily decides to leave and study in Montreal. Cherry is devastated and enlists in the army as a medic to escape his heartbreak. Just before he is about to leave for basic training, Emily realizes her mistake and confesses she is in love with Cherry too, and that they are meant for one another. Also, quick aside, In the movie, Tom Holland's character, who I would assume here plays Cherry, is never named. So I don't know where they're coming up with Cherry here.
Oh, really? Did they never say his name throughout the entire movie?
They never named him, and that's from what I understand is intentional because it's the same way in the novel, in the book.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I don't read books because I'm not a nerd, so I wouldn't know.
Okay, that's fine. I'll be the nerd here. But
Okay.
So, Cherry and Emily married before his deployment. During his 2-year service in the Army, Cherry suffers from PTSD after having several horrific experiences, including seeing his friend Jimenez burned and killed from an IED. To cope with his panic attacks and severe anxiety when he comes home, he abuses Oxycontin, prescribed from a doctor helping to decrease his PTSD symptoms. His growing addiction begins to frustrate Emily, and as a result, she begins taking Cherry's medication to deal with her own frustration of not knowing how to support him without drugs, and the two soon become addicted to Oxycontin and eventually heroin. After they break into a safe that he was looking after from his drug dealer, Pills and Coke. That's just the one person. Just to clarify, Pills and Coke is the name of the guy. He and Emily use most of the drugs secured inside for themselves. Sometime later, Pills and Coke visits and sees the empty safe. Cherry learns that his drug dealer's boss, Black, is the owner of the safe and will kill all three of them for this. To get the money for the drugs they use, Cherry robs a bank and pays back the money. To support his and Emily's addiction, Cherry continues to rob banks. As a result of their daily heroin use, Cherry continues to rob banks frequently after he and Emily go through several severe withdrawals. Emily overdoses and almost dies in a hospital. Cherry is guilted by Emily's mother to leave her alone. Emily leaves her drug rehabilitation facility and reunites with Cherry. He tries to send her back and persuade her that he is no good for her. Emily does not care and tells Cherry she wants to be with him. She will get high on drugs again no matter what.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So, needing more money to support their addiction, he enlists Pills and Coke and his friend James Lightfoot to help him rob multiple tellers at once. During a robbery, the drug dealer runs away, forcing Cherry to rob the bank alone. As he drives away with Lightfoot in a getaway car, Cherry stresses that Pills and Coke will likely rat him out if he gets caught and convinces Lightfoot to turn the car around and search for him. After pulling Pills and Coke in the car, he sees that he has been shot and is severely bleeding. They debate whether to take him to the hospital, but decide it is too risky, and he dies from his gunshot wound. They dump the body on the side of the road and part ways. Black later confronts Cherry outside his home to settle the drug debt. Cherry kisses and says goodbye to Emily before performing one last robbery. During the robbery, Cherry persuades the bank teller to set the alarm off before he leaves with the money. Cherry gives Black all of the money. Cherry then walks out to the open road and gets the attention of the police by firing his gun in the air, proceeding to sit by the side of the road and get high one last time before police arrive and arrest him. Cherry detoxes and recovers in prison, spending 14 years serving his sentence before being released on parole. As Cherry makes his way out of the prison, he sees Emily waiting for him. Okay, so that's the end of the plot synopsis.
All right. I just got something to say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. I think if I ever get addicted to heroin, I can probably get over it. All right. Here's how. Okay. Okay. Here's the secret. This is a secret not many people realize. Just say no. Okay. If you need to get high off heroin, just say no. Okay. I don't need to get high. That's it. All right. That's the secret.
No. What? No. But then how do you? But then you're saying you had to beat the addictions, so it's implying that you get addicted in the first place, Austin.
Right. Well, once
so
you're
how are you gonna beat it if you get addicted?
No. So here's the thing. First, I get addicted to heroin. All right. Once I establish my heroin addiction, right, I'll be like, oh boy, I really need some heroin right now. I need to go get some. I'm just like, oh wait, no, I don't. I don't need heroin. I'm done.
You're just gonna say no to yourself.
That's right. I've seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, right? I assume heroin and crack are the exact same thing, all right? And you can beat it the same way.
No, it's not. No.
Are you sure?
You can't.
Are you sure?
No, you can't, Austin. You can't.
Hold on, wait. Are you saying I can't beat a heroin addiction or I can't beat a crack addiction? Those are two completely different things. Are you sure about that? Should we test this out?
Okay. You're just gonna go over to the car that's right outside your house, like, hey, you got some crack? He's just like, yeah, here you go.
I need to test to see if I can get addicted to this.
Okay, Jesus. Okay, so here's how it's gonna go. Okay, Austin,
okay,
you get the crack, I get the heroin.
It's gonna be
okay?
2 studies, all right? It's gonna be 2 studies, okay? The first study, can I beat a crack addiction? All right. The second study, can I beat a heroin addiction? All right.
Just do both at the same time. You'll do 2 tests at the same time.
Oh, that's really smart. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. That saves me half the time.
Hold on. Get in my window.
It's the birds. The birds are offering William drugs. Oh, is that crack? What does the bird? Oh, the bird has a needle in his mouth. It's like, oh boy, it's chipping at William's window with a needle. It's cheeping. That's how birds make sound, by the way. Cheep. They're like, oh boy, they bribe him with his needle. Oh, what's in the needle? I cannot tell. I assuming it is crack, because that's how it works. It is crack is taken via needles, I assume. All right, that's based on my limited knowledge of drugs. Okay. Oh! Is William opening the door for the bird to enter his room? He has unlatched the window. Okay.
Fine.
There is the window being unlatched. William has let the bird in. The bird is in William's room. William, he's getting some string, okay? He has taken some string, and he is giving it to the bird. I assume this is what you call a barter, and that they are trading string for crack, okay? So now, so the bird has placed the mysterious syringe on William's table. Okay, okay, that was from my steak eating earlier. So William has taken, so the bird has now taken the piece of string.
Okay, so
it is now leaving. William has taken the needle now that he traded the bird.
Wait, what are you saying? I'm gone for like 2 minutes. What? Oh yeah, so. Let me make a request of you, Austin. Okay.
Okay.
During that aside thing, oh goodness, can you oh goodness, can you mute my thing for a little bit?
Sure.
I was talking to my niece and I don't want her on the internet.
You don't want you don't want her to hear about dealing strings for crack. Oh yeah, that's what happened, by the way. You were trading string for a bird with a syringe. I don't know what's in the syringe. I just know the bird brought you some syringe, and you traded string for it.
Oh my god, Jesus, dude. Okay.
This is getting worse.
Yeah, I know it is getting worse. But yeah, just
I'll deal with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
right. So what were we saying again?
I don't know. You just went off on a tangent.
Yeah. So I think I could beat a drug addiction. All right. I think it's pretty simple. Okay. All right. You just say no. All right.
If it's tough for Tom Holland, it might be tough for you, Austin.
Okay, but don't worry. But don't worry. Tom Holland has Spider-Man powers, so it's fine. Okay. He can pay for it. He has Spider-Man money. Okay.
Yeah, but he had an addiction from what, like 2004, like in the movie, it's like 2004 to 2020, 21.
Oh yeah, but no. That's when he got detoxed. He got addicted in 2003. But here's the thing, William. We're not in 2003. We're in 2021 now. All right. So that makes it easier to beat addiction now, due to the vast accessibility of drugs now. All right.
What? How does that make it any easier?
Alright, so the reasons are weird. So here's my theory, okay? So back then, alright, the reason why people got addicted was because it was hard to get drugs, okay? Alright, so like, oh boy, I really need drugs. I can't get any drugs now, alright? But now, due to that, we are in the age of information, as they like to call it, alright? Right? Since drugs are so easily accessible now, it is hard to get more addicted. It's like streaming services, okay? So back when television piracy was rampant, right? Because there's no way to get them, right? But now there's so many streaming services, people don't want to pirate stuff anymore, okay? Because there's all these streaming services, okay?
Sure.
That's how I'm analogizing drug use with streaming service.
That's the horrible analogy. I'm just gonna tell you right straight up.
I dropped my mouse. My mouse is on the other side of the table. I have taken off my headphones. I am bending over to pick up my mouse.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm back. All right,
you good? You
good?
Okay,
I got my mouse now. Okay, so the other thing I want to say, besides my ability to beat drugs, okay, all right, William, is this movie just Forrest Gump? Except if it wasn't Forrest Gump?
Yes, I guess is the way to answer that. Okay, so Jesus.
I had a third point. I don't remember what my third point was anymore.
Okay. Alright, so
so this movie is just Forrest Gump, like I was saying, okay?
Sure
if this movie was Forrest Gump, if Forrest Gump took crack or heroin or whatever the drug
not at all how it is. That's not at all.
Are you sure, William? Are you sure?
Yeah.
If you rewatch Forrest Gump, if Forrest Gump decided to take heroin, he probably would have started robbing banks, alright? I'm just saying.
That's not how it went at all. Where are you getting this? It doesn't do that at all. Where? I mean, okay, so for real, this is essentially this is a movie about dealing with war. Like, it's something you've probably seen before, especially during that age of filmmaking where like around the early 2000s, maybe 2010s, when you had war films that basically looked into basically the negative effects on war on the average soldier, PTSD and addiction, right? And what happens when it's you have problems here, have some OxyContin or some drugs, and then whatever, who gives a shit? Get the fuck out of my office, that kind of thing, right? So that's kind of the thing with this. So with that said, it's a lot of this movie is more style over substance, for the most part.
Yeah, I noticed that too. This movie is shot pretty well.
Yeah, it is extraordinarily well. Like, it's one of the highlights of this fucking movie. Like, I still remember the one scene when right after they had this heist, and then and when I'm not calling him Cherry. I'm gonna call Tom Holland's character like the MC, I think, or like the protagonist.
Or we can just call him Peter Parker. After Peter Parker rob a bank to fuel his drug addiction.
You know what? Yeah. It's not even a meme anymore. Because technically that's what happened.
Look, here's the thing. About Tom Holland. All right. He did. All right. He hasn't. I wanted to see him play an action character. All right. Not Spider-Man action, but like a legitimate action character. All right.
You know that's happening, right?
What?
Uncharted, right?
Oh, is he? Oh, is that? Oh, that's right. I forgot to.
Yeah,
he might also play an action character in Chaos Walking. We still,
Oh my god.
The movie that they finished filming in 2017.
Yeah, we need to watch that at some point. I just don't know when we're able to.
I just released Chaos Walking already. Who owns it? Who distributes this shit? Let's see. Who distributes this shit? Who's the distributor? Release Chaos Walking already, Lionsgate.
Oh my god.
Release it already. Let's see.
Of course it's Lionsgate.
Let's see. The film grossed $16 million against his $100 million budget. All right. Now that's okay. Okay. Nice. What? Nick Jonas is in this movie. Oh, what? Matt Nicholson is in. Holy shit. I'm looking at the Wikipedia page for Chaos Walking. Oh my god.
Oh god, that's
boy, I can't wait to review Chaos Walking now.
God.
Okay.
To be fair,
back to what I say.
But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. To be fair, back to what I say. I want to see Tom in like actual action roles now. All right.
Yeah. Especially considering the fact that
all the roles he's been in has been pretty much just straight up quote unquote action. If you get my drift, right?
Because I know we saw him in Devil All the Time. That was pretty much a drama. We've seen him in Marvel, but even then it's kind of
It's
Let's see. And then Uncharted we don't know. Chaos Walker we don't know. And here it's basically another drama.
Yeah.
See,
Like
yeah.
I think Collins, he's great at job. But I want to see him. But I want to see him do some action. I want to see him to punch a guy, but not with Spider-Man powers, but just to punch him with regular guy power.
Yeah,
with regular man power.
It's interesting in that like you watch this movie. I'm like, yeah, I could see him in an action movie, but then you see him in a
yeah, that was the problem. That was my problem with this movie going. Like I was thinking this was an actual spy action movie.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the way the if you've seen the posters or anything like that, then yeah, it does kind of lends itself to that, where it gives off a sense that he would like he goes from soldier to like basically a criminal, and like this is going to be a crime action movie or whatever, right? And then it's like it's not exactly like that.
Yeah.
And so like it's like he's done so well, and the thing is like seeing him in this movie, it makes me think, yeah, I could like he can be an action movie, and then again it's like, oh, but you see him in Spider-Man, and you're like, no. Because honestly, a lot of that CG, and it's not even, it doesn't really focus on the action. It just kind of focuses on, I don't know,
the special effects,
and set up for like future movies, that kind of stuff, right? But they don't really give the action any real. They don't really make the action the focal point of the film, which is fine. Or in the Spider-Man movies, it's just more like it's standard superhero action, honestly, and it's like you're whatever with it. But it's kind of like that. It's kind of like seeing him in here. I'm like, okay, I could probably see you in an Extraction type of movie. At this point, I would be very interested to see how that would go. So I guess for any of the positives, we went over the camera, the cinematography is fucking fantastic in this movie. You get some really good fucking shots. Like one of the shots that I remember very distinctly, is when Tom Holland or when Peter Parker is like robbing a bank with what is it, Lightfoot and Pills and Coke. And then Pills and Coke gets shot. No one knows how. So I'm like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
And then, he dies on the car, right? And then they leave him on the side of the road. And there was that shot where it's just like they leave him on the side and it's just like everything else kind of darkens, but they have like the shot focus on the body, and like it's just like it's a really
it's a really good shot.
It's a really fucking good shot.
Even that the shot leading up to it of them in a car was extremely good because it was all close. It was like super up close. I mean, just to exemplify how intense this scene is, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh boy, that's not stop happening. Oh boy, where the camera's up in your face about it.
Yeah, and they also have that nice shot where like they're kind of focusing on Peter Parker's face, where he's just telling Lightfoot to fucking drive and get them out of there, and then they kind of like they have it set so that he's on one half of the screen, and then the other half, which is just focused on the car door, it starts to kind of fade away, and then it's the next shot that we're leading into, where Pills and Coke essentially gets dumped by the end of it. So that's all really good. So Tom Holland is again really, really fucking good in this movie.
Yeah. He's good at drama. That's what I said. Yeah. That's what I said. I know he's really good at drama. After the Devil All the Time and this, right? Well, to be fair, I actually did. Even though we shit post about the devil all the time in that movie, I actually did enjoy.
Yeah.
The devil all the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He does a good job. He really plays I guess you want to say the sympathetic town boy is country boy.
I mean, in Devil All the Time, he's more like he's kind of like that. He's like that angry teenager, but he's a boy with good intentions. He just has a lot of frustration at the world, that kind of thing. I think it's more like it's not like that either. I guess the term would be the bad boy with a heart of gold. I only say bad boy because he's not like a bully or anything. He just has some very deep set problems that happen in his life, that kind of thing. And it's kind of the same thing here, where life kind of fucks him up, and then he's just like, oh well, shit, I don't know how to fucking deal with it. And then he kind of just he plays that role well. It's a similar role, but not entirely the same. Because again, but he plays the drug addict in this, and he actually plays that like convincingly, you know, and it's just
it's almost
it just makes it
Hey,
uncomfortable.
like I said, hey, anyone can play it. Anyone can play getting addicted to drugs, but only real actors get addicted to drugs. All right.
So he's saying he's like Christian Bale, except that he'll take drugs for a movie just to be the junkie.
Just to get to take a character act.
Yeah,
Just like, oh boy.
No, it's gonna be like that meme, but it's like the Russo brothers like, oh yeah, we just happened to find Tom Holland like on the side like with a needle sticking out of his arm, and then we just took out our camera and started filming him, and then that was the movie. We just started filming.
Hold on. What's Christian Bale in Thor: Love and Thunder? He's in that thing, right?
No, he's not.
He's gotta be
Love and Thunder. Russell Crowe's in Love and Thunder.
No, he is.
Is he?
Oh, he is. He's Gore the God Butcher. All right. Do you think Christian Bale, in preparation for this role, is gonna become a cosmic being? Right?
he walks up to the gods and is like, hey, help me train to become a god so I can be in this movie.
That's right.
And he's like, yeah.
And then kill them. And then he's gonna kill the same god as well.
Exactly. Jesus Christ.
According to this, he's just a guy that kills gods, apparently.
No, I mean, yeah, that's all. That's a comic. That's a comic book. That's a comic book storyline in Marvel.
All right, yeah. Christian Bale will kill gods in order to prepare for his role.
Oh yeah. Next thing, well, secretly he's also playing Kratos. So Tom Holland is really good in this.
Yeah. One thing I do like within this movie, as I'm re-clipping, I like all the panning shots, the panning transition shots that they do. I think that's really good. How they would just keep the quote-unquote same frame. How they just keep one long take, but it's framed so that they use elements as transition. I thought that was cool. I like that stuff.
Yeah,
right?
That's good too. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Kiara? Sierra?
Yes?
Sierra Bravo? It's the closest thing that I can think on. Basically, she's the female lead in the movie. She also does really well in this too.
Okay, she was in Charlie Brown apparently. Who she voiced in Charlie Brown?
Brown what?
Oh, she voiced Patty. She voiced Peppermint Patty. Oh.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
I went to her Wikipedia page. That's what it says. And the Wikipedia, don't lie to me.
Oh, hold on, please. I see Angels and Demons. The Cafeteria Washed Up. Open Season 3. Cinnamon. Oh, God. Neighbors 2, Sorority Rising. To the Bone. Okay, so that's when she's getting into more serious stuff. The Long Dumb Road. And Cherry. I don't see...
Oh, appears on television. Go
it's in television?
Television.
Oh, Happiness is a Warm Blanket, Charlie Brown.
What the fuck is this? I never heard of this.
It's a what the fuck is this? Oh, it's just they released a television special in 2011?
I never heard of this. This is the first time I hear about this Charlie Brown special.
Oh my god, how does this not gain more attention?
I've never heard of this. This is okay. So going off topic real quick. This when the fuck did they release this? This is the first time I ever heard of this television special for Charlie Brown.
Yeah, I mean they have them all the time, but this late in 2011, like I didn't. What really? I'm looking for it right now. Happiness.
I've never heard of this thing. Holy shit.
Okay. All right. I have to watch this now. I need to see how this goes.
I have to look for this too. I'm just so perplexed that this exists.
Yeah, I know. It's wild.
Oh my god. This guy, when no one told me about this.
Oh man, this went
crazy.
under radar. Right. Yeah, but
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So back. Yeah. So about the other happiness in the world, heroin. All right.
Okay. It's. Why are you gonna lead into that? What? By the way, heroin. You're just gonna interject into a conversation.
The happiness in the world. The happy blanket for some people.
Heroin is a warm Oh my god.
I hope no one ever takes our shit so seriously. Jesus fuck.
I mean, that one guy who commented on that one video might.
Hey, we're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah, I know we're not talking about it, but it's just like no, because I'm just saying, because that guy and who made that comment, it sounded like he was taking the video title a little too seriously. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. It was. Oh boy. Hey, by the way, he's still making posts. By the way,
Oh
I really
my
want to. That's a story for another day. All right, well, so Tom Holland did a good job. All right, everyone did a good job. I like this movie. All right. Okay, so besides from my only complaint of the fact that I tricked myself, which isn't a real complaint, all right? That's just my own fault for expecting this movie to be an action thriller movie, all right?
Yeah, fair.
So my other was this movie too long?
It is so long. No, that was actually one of my complaints because it's so long. The thing is,
yeah, I didn't notice that until I was like halfway through. I was like, it wasn't until like around the hour and a half mark. Like, because usually that's when movie ends, right? Because the movie's almost like normally only like around 90 minutes, right? I was like, oh, this movie's still going on. That's when I actually looked at the time. So I was like, this movie's 2 hours and 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's wild. There's a lot happening in this movie, but it feels like it's just like a lot of this. Like, if they need a better. Like, I'm not sure. Because
I feel like there's a lot of fluff for some reason. There's legitimately a lot of fluff.
There is a lot of fluff because it's like a lot of this could have been
like
shortened.
the whole army sequence, right? Even though it builds the backstory of his character, like of how he got addicted, I feel like you could have just cut that or made all those just like quick flashback sequence, right? We didn't need the whole sequence.
It took too long to get to the point of him getting traumatized and showing it affecting him.
I don't want to learn how Spider-Man got addicted to heroin. Just show me him being addicted to heroin. All right. I don't need to know his backstory.
Yeah. There's also
about his heroin addiction. I don't care what Uncle Ben said. Heroin's a great thing. That's the breaking point, by the way. That's the point history.
With great power comes great heroin. All right. So.
I want to use all these titles, but I'm afraid that if I were to put the word heroin in the title, YouTube would suppress this video.
No. Just say crack, man. You'll be fine. Okay, so look, I'll revise my statement. Okay, with great power comes great crack. All right, how about that? God, man.
Oh my gosh. Okay, but yeah, so back to one of my joke. But yeah, this movie was extremely fucking long. Right, there were so many sequences that didn't need to be shown. Like the whole army sequence was, even though I like what it was, like when you show his character, but I was like, Jesus fuck, I don't need to see. None of this stuff was really relevant in the end.
Yeah.
All right, because it's not that hard to assume that he's gonna get yelled at in the army and do all that fucking stuff, right? It's kind of obvious. That's the whole point of that's the whole point of going to the army. You're gonna go get yelled at by a drill sergeant and all that stuff, right? All he had to do was just cut to him being like when he was stationed out, right, doing his thing, right? I didn't need to see.
It could have been a few quick cuts of him being yelled at and him and people having problems within the army, like with the whole basic training and shit. Because the thing is, a good example of a good, what do you call it? I mean, it's okay. So it's a bit different, but it's kind of like in Full Metal Jacket, where you have where basically throughout the whole segment, you see how how basic can fuck a person up, right? And and it also shows that in that one character who basically kills the drill sergeant, and kills himself at the end of that segment, right? But in here it's like the problem with this segment a lot. I think it's a lot of them telling you what the problems are and not a lot of showing, Now this is kind of the thing, because the thing is, throughout the whole movie, you have Tom Holland narrating the the movie.
Oh yeah, he was breaking the fourth wall a lot.
Yeah,
Notice that too.
Yeah, and I like.
I appreciate that, but I feel like he didn't do it enough for it to be engaging, right?
I mean,
right?
No,
so I noticed he was
doesn't...
breaking the fourth wall to interact with us, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like he was like there wasn't like a set pace. It's not like I'm gonna go back to Enola Holmes, right? Another good movie where in her character she did it enough where it felt natural for her to be breaking the fourth wall to us, the audience, right? To be like, hey yo, I'm Enola Holmes. But in this movie, it's just Tom Holland just randomly breaking the fourth, which I understand is because it's due to the drugs, all right? It's due to her. I'm assuming he's just having an episode.
No, it's not. It's
right
not,
now,
it's
right?
not that. It's just it's most definitely because like, and here's the thing. Because the thing is, at some point, I was thinking the narration was gonna show when he was gonna narrate, when he actually narrates this in his life, and that would make sense. Like it was in the epilogue section, I'm certain, where he was gonna talk about it in prison and it helps heal him through the process, right? But the thing is, they very rarely what do you call it? They very rarely use the narration often enough. It's very few and far between where you're like, okay, that's interesting. You'll notice that at the beginning, and then later on it will happen like, oh wait, we're going back to this? I thought we were forgetting this for a while, you know? Like I completely forgot it was a thing. And then it's just like, because the thing is, he's in an interview, that kind of thing. And then for some reason, it doesn't specify when he narrates it or anything, so it just feels kind of... it feels like a loose thread at the end of it. There's no real connection back to the beginning of the movie, right? Which is also a bit of an issue on that, right? There's sorry, what was the sorry, my mind just like blanked for a second. What was the original point I was trying to make here?
Narration.
Something about the narration, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, a lot of narration, no substance. It's not common with the loose thread. No, I think that was the point I was trying to make. Okay, sorry.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So I feel like his narrations at least were just randomly very off, right?
Yeah.
Right, because we see him do it early in the morning, but by the end of it, he does. But I want to say, I guess this is the third act. I don't know how fucking. I guess the part 4. I guess you want to refer to this as around that section when it was like pretty much near the end. He just stops doing it, the narration. And so I was like, oh okay, guess we.
Yeah, that's.
Guess we saw like the only time like I guess after the first act of the first 2 acts, like the only time I remember him ever narrate to us was when he went back home and he got the flag from deployment, right? Like I think like as far as like that was the last time he narrated to the audience, right?
Yeah.
And then after I just thought I was like, oh okay, I guess we're just gonna abandon this element thread, right? Because I assumed because it made me seem like the narration he was very important to us for us to understand, you know. Right, like, oh boy, this is my life, you know. You're wondering how I got here, and all that jazz. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, and yeah, it's again a lot like, oh my god, it's just I know we've been complaining about it all night, but a lot of these could have been done like we could have done without, or it could have been shorter. Yeah.
Yeah, the original stuff was weird. I feel like that element could have just been completely cut off the movie, honestly.
Yeah, like the thing is, a lot of it in the beginning of the movie is just showing how he just kind of feels disconnected and like he's without purpose and stuff, right? Which is fine and stuff until he meets what's her name, Emily.
Emily.
Yeah, Emily, right? And then that's when things kind of start making sense, and then shit happens, and then it causes him to go to the army.
Yeah.
God, it's like with the whole what do you call it? With him having a job and shit, right? That could have been like it's about him. He's like, oh yeah, I had a job. I worked at this restaurant. There's all these maids and shit, and then we learned more about these what do you call it? I think you learn about the maids and stuff, and it's just like, but it never has any real relevance later on. I think it could have been shown as like, oh yeah, I worked a shit job, and he could have just had it so the boss yells at him and stuff, and he does it in front of like the waitresses and stuff, and that would have been fine. We don't need to know, we don't really need to learn about anything else with that, right? Because and it's a lot of him just telling us how he feels instead of just really like he does show us how he feels at some point, but that's like later on in the film. in the beginning, there's a lot of narration, him saying, "Oh yeah, but this happens, this happened, this happened," to explain all these other characters, right? Like with James Lightfoot, he explains that, "Oh yeah, my brother was in the army, and then it fucked him up, and he's trying to make it so his friend doesn't go to the army, and because it'll fuck him up, that kind of thing."
Yeah,
and it's just like it's kind of like that has no real payoff in the sense of James's character, because it's like he complains about the fact that his brother it's like, "Oh well, my brother was in the army, and that fucked everything up, and now you're in the army," and he doesn't kind of bring that back, or he doesn't try to help them in some way. It's very odd and weird, right? Because it just feels like his character, like a lot of his side characters, are just kind of there, and they don't serve a purpose except for being a plot device to get to get Tom Holland's character from point A to point B, So there's a lot of the fact that the side characters don't feel like they get anywhere themselves, and they only serve to just kind of push Tom Holland's character in a certain way. So there's it feels like there is some side stories that just feel unfinished, or they're started but they don't lead anywhere, right? Again, the army stuff could have been shortened if they did it in a way that was sorry, I'm thinking of the name. Again, with Full Metal Jacket and stuff, a lot of that was show don't tell, because you see the abuse that that the people in Basic went through, and then you saw the effects of that when the graduating student killed himself in the sergeant, right? And you get something like that too, but it's also it also has a lot of Tom Holland's narration over it, and so we're more paying attention to the narration. And it's told in such a way that it doesn't feel like it engages you so much, If it was just a lot of us more seeing the abuses of what was going on, and then maybe an occasional narration, it's saying, "Oh yeah," so this is basic training. Then montage, right? Shots of the abuse that people go through in Basic. And then you get the guy who almost commits suicide, right? Then it could have been "Oh yeah, don't fucking join the army," and then it would have been fine. But you get a whole bunch of explanations about how he and it's kind of important too. So I guess that some narration would be appropriate when he's "Oh yeah, I feel disconnected and nothing feels real," right? That kind of thing. But it's just a lot of it's a whole narration segment, and it feels very, very long because you're just kind of listening to the story, and it's just it kind of exhausts you, weighs you down on it a little bit, Let's see. So, I mean, it's just a lot of it could have been cut short. I know I was giving a few examples. There's a lot to go through. It's a very long movie.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so what else do we want to go through here?
Okay, William. So I'm not trying to put this in a joking light, but was that... So during the segment when they were in, I think, Afghanistan, or... Right? Hey... Were they trying to imply that guy was a pedo?
Yeah,
Did you get that weird indication?
I got that.
I was trying to figure out how can I bring this up in a serious matter without trying to make a joke out of it.
I don't know.
Did you get a weird feeling from the guy?
Yeah, it's just with the way he said it, "Oh yeah," and he was a killer. I'm and then they cut to the scene where he's basically raping somebody, right? And it's just are you implying he's gonna do something to this kid?
Yeah, I got this. He was just putting this weird energy when he and Tom when they first put up to the village, or town.
Yeah, it's basically
right. He just randomly singled out the one girl. Yeah, she's pebbles in her dress. I was like, ooh, that's a very... He is the way she was. I was like, ooh, boy, I don't feel comfortable with this character. Right?
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah.
Right. Okay. I wasn't sure. Okay. I wasn't trying to be silly. But I wasn't sure if I was the only one that got that weird vibe from this character. Right.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh boy, I was that character. Like I don't remember the character, but he was really giving off that weird vibe.
Yeah.
Right.
It was very odd. Yeah, that was. I don't know, man. I don't know if they want to. It's just so weird what the vibe that they did for that. But
yeah. Right. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought someone was entering your room again.
No,
I thought it was the bird. I thought it was the
no.
bird. I was trying to trade you more crack for strength.
Jesus fuck, dude.
Okay. So I think besides from the narration, the pedal, the fact that I misled myself and all that stuff. All right. So what other thing I do give this movie that if really small detail was when he was started robbing banks, right? Did you notice the name of the banks?
Yeah, I know. There was one that was kind of obvious by the end of it, but there was just one called Shitty Bank. You know?
Yeah, like that was great. I noticed that too, because I assumed that was all because of the drug and everything. Like, well, boy, that's his perception, right? Yeah, I was like, I noticed. I was like, oh, that's a pretty nice touch. Like, was it like there was like capitalistic bank or capitalistic one and all those other or capital or like there was like really good like I guess from his perception of drugs, but right, that goes back to the whole fact that through his eyes, through his commentary thing, right? I would have liked it more in this movie, besides from the bank we saw all throughout his life on his view in the world, right? Yeah, what I'm saying, so there's like section where he's working when he goes to the army. You know how you have a shirt that literally says army and stuff on it, right? Right, I would have liked more of this. If the shirt just said something like I don't know what's a fucking word, like death machine or something like that, right? Like stuff that we could, right? Because I feel like the movie was trying to like perceive us through his point of view and his worldviews, right? And right, and I like what they did with the bank when they're trying to show it through his views, like, oh yeah, banks are the worst, they're fucking they steal the money, and they have all this money and all that mumbo jumbo, right? I would like more if we saw that more throughout early in the movie. Besides from his narration, like we saw like small impacts like that. Like when he was wearing his shirt, like I was saying, back to when he was wearing his shirt, like if it said something that wasn't army, right? Like right?
Yeah.
Or other stuff like that, all right? Or when he was working, like we just see like the business side, like not normal business side, right?
Yeah.
Like more strange, like his perception of the world,
Yeah, a lot of that was pretty nice to see overall. I mean, there was some.
Yeah, but I would have liked it more if it was more throughout the movie, right?
Yeah, if we saw more things like whenever that were skewed. I mean, the thing is, I think it also makes sense why it's so late. If only because that's when he's like, when he's playing the drug addict. That's when things kind of get skewed and off and shit like that, right? But it would have been nice if they exaggerated a bit more early on too. So we're like, oh
yeah, like it would have made more sense with him and his narration, right?
Yeah,
it would have made more sense for us to understand from the way his perception of the world,
Yeah. Yeah, there's.
Yeah, so that was a nice touch I noticed with the bank and stuff. Well, what else do I have? I think. Oh wait, no, hold on. Oh wait, I forgot. No, there is. Wait, was that Wait, is this an actual reference or is this just the name of the slogan of the place? Oh, hold on. He does have one for the army. It's be all you can be. I think. I guess that's supposed to be his perception of the army.
Possibly. Although I think it should have been a lot harsher considering how he feels about it by the end of it too.
Yeah. So that was a nice touch about business side. I would have liked it more if it was more with his more perception and stuff, right?
Also, okay, so it also feels like a lot of the story doesn't feel. You don't care about it, Like the thing is, the only reason you care about this movie at all might just be because, like, honestly, because of Tom Holland's performance in the movie. Because it's honestly really fucking good, but it's also probably the only reason I kind of care about this movie, right? Because like a lot of it's like they don't give us a lot of time to spend with a lot of characters except with Emily, right? And so like of like you only care about really these two characters, and everyone else is kind of a side character to their thing, and we don't get to spend a lot of time with them either, so we don't give a shit about what happens, or we only give a shit about how it affects Tom, and that's why we feel anything. But if it wasn't for Tom,
Peter Parker,
with Peter Parker, but if it wasn't for Peter Parker's performance in this movie, if it was probably anyone else's, I don't think it would have worked as well, because you wouldn't give a shit. Right?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you get like you get like you get that scene where Jimenez gets blown up by a mine or something. I think it's the term.
Yeah.
And you kind of like you care with how it hurts Tom, but you don't care in general about Jimenez's character because he spends so little time with him. It's just like a lot of it's kind of again it serves as a purpose to drive his character forward, but it's kind of hard to care about. Like the thing is, it's kind of hard to care about what goes on with or the greater message that they're trying to talk about here, because it's just like because it's a mention about how like war is shit, right? Basically, is one big part of it. How the system kind of.
Oh, was that it? Oh, I didn't know that was.
Okay.
I thought this movie was like don't do drugs.
No. Okay.
I thought this movie was don't do drugs.
Okay, because the thing is, the whole idea of it is basically like we send people into a war where that scarred them for life, right? We were ill prepared to take care of them when they returned back from the said war. And and with our failure in the system and taking care of them and shit, we essentially ruined the people that we sent, to whatever the fuck, right? And it's just like it's essentially on like the terrible reality of war, the failure of the system to kind of help the people that we sent into that war, and then their lives are ruined as a result of it, that kind of thing, right? And it's kind of like it kind of talks about that and it mentions it, right? But we don't have such a great exploration on these topics itself. One nice example of this is like when Tom Holland, or I guess Peter Parker, decides to go to a therapist or something, right, about what he's been through and shit, and the doctor just like who is very cleverly named Dr. Whomever, right? If you notice the detail.
Yeah, we're going back to again about the whole perception through his eye.
Yeah, which is also fantastic. And it's just like he's talking to the doctor. It's just like, it's like, oh, well, I'm listening to all of what you're saying. Here, just have some drugs and get the fuck out of my office, right? Because it doesn't seem like he cares or anything, right? That kind of thing. And it's because he's being as honest as he's being very honest about about his experiences and shit, and he's just like, and it's also funny because it's like, he's trying to take drugs to like fucking take care of his problems, and then the doctor's like, oh yeah, well here, try use the drugs that you've already been trying. He doesn't know it, of course, right? And then it's it's just like they don't really do anything. They just like, here, take these drugs and get out of here. That'll be enough for you, and that's it.
Drugs.
Yeah,
drugs. The bare bone of society, some would say.
And it's just like, it's like it does nothing, because it's like the thing is you don't get at the real root of the problem. You're just like kind of putting a Band-Aid over a fucking lost limb, or gaping wound. It doesn't do shit. And it's mentioned and stuff, but it's like it's kind of it's not really explored or anything. It's mentioned, and then we kind of see the results of it, but it's like it's not really felt well, I think. That's probably why it's like a lot of the benefits of the movie is honestly the performance. It's like the pathos and the styles of the film, and those are strong, and it did carry me through this movie, but it's not enough to kind of overlook the faults of this film itself.
Yeah, I just felt they weren't fully committed to the ideas that they established with the movie, right? Right, because I thought it was cute. I thought it was great how it was great that at the early part of the book we saw him interacting with the audience and all that stuff. But the problem was like all the way to the end they just completely abandoned that element thread and they just don't go back on it, right? And I felt like so here's the thing, Will. Did you notice how that whole him in prison was just like a whole montage?
Yeah.
Did you notice that? Right?
Yeah.
Apparently, that's just a montage moment, and that's it.
Yeah, you see.
Right? I would have liked it better if they used that montage moment earlier when he went to basic training.
Yeah.
Right? And then we go a full loop, right? We saw how he entered the system, right?
Yeah.
And how he's exiting the system, right? I feel like that would have been way better.
Yeah.
Right? With that montage.
Because it's like
I thought that the way that they shot the montages of him in prison was very good.
It is good.
I feel like, oh, okay. But I feel like, boy, this montage really comes out of nowhere just to be at the last act of the movie.
Yeah, I felt like, again, if you switched it, like, the thing is, I love the epilogue. That epilogue was fucking amazing, right? Especially with the music. It's really fucking good. But but the thing is, I felt like the movie would have benefited if we had more montages throughout earlier sections of the movie, so that they didn't last too long. We got to the point of things, and therefore having enough time to what's the word I'm looking for? That way we have enough time to explore what they want, like what they should have been looking at in this film, and so like in the prison scene, it could have been. Then we could have tied it back to the narration that he was doing in the beginning. Then you learn, oh, he was narrating to these people who also need help, right? And then it's just like by the end of his narration, maybe that's his time to go. And then you have the whole ending that they had here, by the end of it, where he exits and he finds Emily there and everything like their lives are fixed, that kind of thing.
Just full cycle of everything.
Yeah, and it's like that would have been nice. And but it's kind of hard for me to argue with that too, because I really like the epilogue too. The epilogue was really well done, but
it was really well shot. I'll give it that.
It's also ironic. Like, I was waiting for the epilogue to be over because it also was really fucking long, because it is a 9-minute epilogue of a montage, right? And it's really fucking long.
Yeah.
And it's just they're very lucky the music carried it there too. Honestly,
hey, that's called the Russo brother movie, all right? That's when your studio said, all right, well, what are you gonna do for? How are you gonna say no to us, the #1 grossing film director of all time, until James Cameron beat us again?
Yeah, pretty much.
Curse you, James Cameron!
Oh my god, man!
How dare you, James?
Yeah, it's fucking...
Hold on, real quick. How many times has fucking Avatar been re-released now?
Re-released...
God, Avatar's been fucking re-released so many goddamn times.
3 times,
Get over
maybe?
it, James. Get over it. Okay, wait. That's 2 times too many, okay?
Yeah? Oh, no, wait, no. That would be... No, hold on, because there's the international. There's domestic. There's the director's cut that I believe came out in IMAX theaters. And then
special edition.
Yeah, the special edition. And then there was the one that they just did in China this year, I think.
Guys.
It might have been 4 times, yeah.
Okay, we don't fucking need. All right, James, get over it. Get over it. Just get over the fact that people want to see superheroes to be the best movie, to be the highest gross. No one cares about your stupid Pocahontas movie. No one cares about your stupid Pocahontas movie. All right.
He's in the middle of
no one cares about Jake Sully. All right. By the way, that's the name of the character. By the way, Jake Sully.
Jake Sully.
So remind everyone.
God, man.
Right? Yeah, the most, right? By the way, still to this day, nobody can name a single character from Avatar. By the way. That isn't Jake Sully.
Yeah, except for Jake Sully. Oh wait, you forgot Ellen Ripley. There you go.
No, okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, but yeah. So back to the movie. Yeah, like I said, I like the epilogue montage. Really felt the problem is, but my only problem with the epilogue was that it came in at the last minute, and we gotta go along. I was like, oh yeah, okay. I mean, yeah. I was like, oh, but I guess we gotta spend. Well, here we're just gonna show 14 years in 9 minutes. I guess that's the way to do it. I was fine with it. I feel like the only problem is that it literally just came out of nowhere with this epilogue. I just want to go back to what I was saying earlier, of repetition of themes, right? If they use this montage element way earlier in the movie.
Yeah, it would have benefited a lot more, but
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's.
So I guess that's all I really have to say about this movie.
Yeah, that's all I really had to say either, honestly.
Yeah, I like the movie. I think it's good.
It is good, but
definitely not worth a rewatch. Honestly, you could just watch it one time.
I would
like if they release there's so much fucking stuff you could just legitimately cut out of this movie. It makes so much more fucking sense.
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean, the thing is, if I was to ever watch the movie, I watch it in parts just to skip to my favorite parts of this movie. Honestly, that's kind of how I feel on it. Really. But yeah, it's a solid 6,
Yeah,
7.
The real movie doesn't start until he comes back home after.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
Right?
Because it's a lot of just him. It's all half of that movie is just set up. I'm like, this could have been done in maybe 30 minutes. If you were creative about it.
The whole sequence of him getting addicted literally doesn't. Him getting addicted does not start until like an hour into the movie.
Yeah, it's,
right. And like the first hour, it's like building up to how he got addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
Hey, wait. You know, there's an easy way to establish someone getting addicted to drugs. Okay, you know what that is? Show them getting addicted to drugs. All right.
No, yeah,
all right?
You're right. Because the thing is, they do that too. But it's just like we had a whole hour of him just setting up the PTSD and shit, right? And him falling in love, and him being all like, oh, I don't know what to do. I'm feel purposeless in my life. And the thing is, that a lot of that's fine and it works, but it was way too long. Put that in a 30-minute segment, and then take the rest of the movie all the time to show the hero.
Like everything after the first hour mark, I was into like him, his whole fucking struggle. Like him and Emily almost killing. Well, I guess just Emily almost killing herself.
Yeah.
From an overdose. So I was like, oh, that element was good, right? But I was like, but bro, that doesn't start till like an hour 30-minute into the movie.
Yeah, it's a
right. But the problem is this: you're already an hour 30-minute into the movie.
Yeah, I know.
To when the story actually picks up. To an actual plot system.
Yeah, and then by then it's just like you don't have a lot of time left with the movie to be able to explore that shit, and then how he ends up spiraling into like how bad him spiraling down into the fucking hole, how bad that really is. It's just like that was the movie. We don't get to spend a lot of time with it, and it's really a shame. Because the thing is, the movie is very well shot. It's just it takes so long to get it to pick up any steam, and it's just like okay, fine.
Yeah.
But
yeah, but I guess that's all my final thoughts about this movie. Yeah. Yeah, but boo-hoo, Peter Parker. Did someone get addicted to heroin?
What? You got crack in your eye?
I started with an Always Sunny reference. I'm going to end this with an Always Sunny reference.
Oh, I ended it.
It all comes closer.
You should have ended it with a Spider-Man 3 reference.
Okay. Hey, wait, you know what? Hey, wait. Are you going to cry that I didn't end with a Spider-Man 3 reference?
It's like, what, you got some crack in your eye? Look, man, that's going to go. That's how it's going to be. That's how it is.
That's it. All right, that's how we're ending this. All right, coronavirus is still a thing. Wash your hands, wear a mask. Kate, thanks, bye.